Hi guys. Um, Want to talk a little bit today about the event editor and using it to change events in not just in a kind of a unconventional way, not just sweeping filters or equalizers in the traditional sense. In as far as FL Studio is concerned, let me get this out of the way here. Come on. Oops. This thing is tricky to use until you understand how it actually works. I did make a video on this window, but I think I learned a couple of things. Well, I did, and that's what I'm trying to show here. But a better way to get into the window since it doesn't have a shortcut key to get there. So anyway, what I have to show is, whoops, I'm using an automation clip, but it's not really automating. It's more of it's a clip that just changes a parameter, like a switch, and not something that automation clips are used traditionally as in change over time. These clips here are instant parameter changes. You can, and in the sense that I'm using them in, as far as their application goes, and in this case, I'm talking about changing the arpeggiator, going up or going down, or up and down, whatever the one you want to use. And so I come across this idea because I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to be running an arpeggiator and then have it stall out at the top of a rise without it continuing to arpeggiate, without opening up another a clone of the same plugin and making it play without the arp. And in this case, you can use the event editor to simply turn the arp off when time reaches that point. So I'll show you how that kind of works out. So I made already a pattern clip, and with the event editor, you make a pattern clip like you do for other instruments that you're using, and name it whatever you want it to do. In this case, like I want this pattern clip to be arp off, and it can just be, a beat long. It doesn't matter. It's a switch, right? So, and then to get into the event editor, double click on it, and it brings up this window, and it is for the arp, to change the arp direction, indicated up here in the menu. And so it already knows that it needs to control the arp direction, and so when you use this for like a filter, for example, wherever the interpolation is pretty dynamic as far as where this line is, and when it's functioning, or when it's changing certain parameters that only have certain values that can be changed, this line won't, I can't get it to show up right here. See, I'm clicking it. That's the minimum value that anything will get changed at. So that's how, and so I took a time and counted these lines. I think FL could probably improve upon the event editor by listing the value points on the left and maybe giving it a timeline. That would be kind of cool. And perhaps a shortcut key so that you don't have to make a pattern clip just to get into it. You can get into it without double clicking on its pattern clip, but it takes some jockeying between the piano roll and the playlist window, and I demonstrate that function in my other video. So, but anyway, so the first set it goes up, and then the second setting it goes down, and it goes up some more to do the up-down bouncy, and then up towards the top, the up-down sticky. And so that's just for the ARP direction. And I just wanted to figure that out real quick and show you. And so that pretty much goes for a lot of the things that are in the plugins in FL. I was messing around with Electra X here. I've had this plugin for a while, and I was trying to adjust the ARP direction on its native arpeggiator, but unfortunately this plugin doesn't work perfectly, and so it won't display what the arpeggiator's doing given a parameter change. That you're kind of doing it blindly, and so it won't say what it's doing, and sometimes it just stops working. But anyway, it's not a bad plugin, actually. It's actually pretty cool. The only drawback about this plugin, since I have it open real quick, is that you can modulate between the oscillators, but you can't modulate exclusively between like 1 and 3. You can only 3 will get modulated by either just 2 or the combination of the both. So it kind of you can't. It's hard to have one separate on its own being modulated. But I guess it's no Citrus, but it does have some. You make different sounds with it, and it's really cool. And it's kind of what each plugin has for it, its own character to make sounds that you couldn't figure out how to make on another plugin because it's just too difficult, or it's just not intuitive for certain sounds. So get back to here. Another way you could probably go about adjusting native parameters instead of trying to do it directly to the like changing something and having FL record the change. You can go into browse parameters, and all these parameters, there's plugins will have there'll be hundreds of them. And this is probably the best way to be adjusting parameters. See, there's ARP type, ARP's chorus. That's the best way to really change parameters. But again, it takes time because you got to sit here and sift through all of them, and it takes a long time. And who has time? It's easier just to click on the control and link to it. But some plugins just don't like that. But anyway, so the arpeggiator direction. So I got this little clip here amongst actually a grander song I'm working on. And so I was beginning this rise, and then I want the ARP to stop. So I've got, actually that ARP is not going to be stopping. It's going to be making it go down. See how that shaded in when I move the cursor over. So I want it to be off, so nothing is going to be off. It's going to work wherever you set it before the cursor reaches there. And sometimes if you're messing around and trying to adjust things, it can be inconvenient because if it crosses a point and it changes the parameter, and then you bring the cursor to repeat it, if you don't tell it to change back to where it should be, then you'll have to redo what you're doing to continue working. But it's a minor thing, really. So this is the ARP off window, and exit out of it. And so I'll demonstrate real quick just how to do this. So I want the ARP to go up, so I just do a ARP up, give it a color. Actually, purple's already taken. Let's just do this green. And then just, wherever you want it to start up. Maybe it'd be better if I do over here, because that rise is, the pitch interpolation is a little bit iffy. It's not super smooth, and so it sounds kind of weird. And I'm trying to mess around with the pitch change and how smoothly it is operating. So I'll do this little chord progression here, and I'll halfway through it, I'll start it, and then I'll stop it. Actually, I'll start it, stopped, and then I'll have this plug-in do its thing, except for I haven't given it any parameter changes yet. So you got the pattern clip down, then you change the thing that you want your host to recognize that you're doing. Right click on the control, and you notice up here it's TransO2, which is the plugin name that you're using. ARP direction event, okay, that's what we want to change. And edit the event. Window opens up, and that's the first value, which is the up. And then out, and then here. So it's going to play without, and then it's going to change to it, and then it'll go without again. It should stop. Okay, so a quick little demonstration on. So you know that these you got a certain color, and you know if you zoom in on it, it says what it is, and so it's a switch to change a parameter. That's what the event editor is good for. I thought I should show that and kind of explain how to use and how that can be useful and whatnot. At the same time, I thought it was cool that there's MIDI information for each one of these chord gates for the arpeggiator, and wasn't going to start listing them all off quite yet anyway. It looks like pretty busy work because of how many there is, but I did open up make a pattern clip for it, ARP chords, and you notice right away at the bottom there's a little bit of a line, which means there's quite a bit of value changes that are occurring here to change. You know, basically it's however many of those settings are there, presets I should say, you know, that's going to be divided in this event editor window. So again, that brings me back to saying that ImageLine could probably improve upon this by showing these value changes on the left and a timeline on the top. Maybe even incorporating this in the piano roll or something, given it to where you can see maybe MIDI notes in the background in your timeline, so you can know when to change and use this. Instead of, pattern clips or automation clips are really pretty cool to use. They do the job pretty well, but it could be the event editor could be improved. So I thought I would quickly babble about that and show that kind of cool stuff. And you could have it sweep. You can do silly stuff. I'm really just trying to display some just like simple uses for this plugin. And I'm not sure why, but my windows are not opening up in the beginning lately. They're opening up middle way through, and I'm having to scroll every time. Don't know what that's about. Anyway, so pick a point. We'll just demonstrate real quick. Out. Right now, it's just on auto sustain, so I'll bring it. I don't know, Agusis. I don't even know what these actually are doing. Anyway, so, and as you saw there, it wasn't actually stopped. FL doesn't know that it stopped. If you had stopped it past the stop automation. Anyway, so there's that cool stuff. And this is a song I'm working on, and I'll show, maybe I'll just play a small bit. So I've been practicing and doing this and starting just slowly getting better and just ever so slowly. So anyone who gives me support in doing this I'm going to greatly appreciate you for just checking my stuff out. And if you watched this far into my video, thank you. And please like it, and if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. I'm really here I'm trying to figure this stuff out and how creative you can be with it. I'm not going to be trying to do anything else but just brainstorm and figure stuff out and have weird information and just, share stuff. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.